goat industry within the U.S. is growing, both in inventory and marketing for goat products.
My name is Joseph Resnicek. This is Nancy Groschke. And the property that we have here in Houston has a goat herd right now of approximately 20 animals. We started back 12 years ago. Nancy was kind enough to have land available in the Houston area when my daughter started in the Langham Creek FFA. The property here is a herd of animals that has been growing over the years. Some are what you would call rescue animals that were past show animals that kids didn't want to see go to a market, and then other animals that we've brought in through the years to develop our herd more and more.
Hi, I'm Nancy Groschke. I'm the owner of this place and the 3G Ranch. I have a ranch named after 3G Ranch. And I raise cattle, and I've got involved with Joe Resnicek with the goats and all that, and I really like having them here.
The changing demographics of this U.S. population can be credited with increasing demand for goat products.
The industry has been growing almost exponentially over the last decade. When I got into being involved with goats 12 years ago, I came from a cattle background where I knew almost as much as you could know about cattle. Goats were kind of a new animal, if you want to go to that point. I found out that goats were they were becoming more desirable. The market for goats is becoming more and more lucrative. Actually getting into, it's not a novelty. Raising a goat herd, a meat goat herd, knowing what the industry is looking for as far as their carcass quality, size, just in general what is a marketable animal. We have really gained a lot of ground and knowledge over the last few years, a lot of it coming from direct involvement with Prairie View A&M. So we benefited immensely, not only just ourselves, but the FFA program for Langham Creek, as well as several others, with the knowledge, care, feeding, just everything that you would need for a good show goat, a marketable meat quality goat. Information's relatively difficult to come by in this area as far as goats are concerned. Not that there's not information around, it's just there's not a lot of producers in this area. You find them more situated towards the middle part of Texas or towards South Texas. Prairie View has been a good springboard, and there's just a few other sites on the web that are links from those individuals that are private producers who have herds, who have been in the business for 25, 30 years plus, who have a wealth of information they pass on, especially in the care. When you have illnesses or disease or injury, even getting into a good nutritional program as far as getting the maximum yield for a market goat in the minimum amount of time.
Small size of goats and their ability to forage on marginal rangeland has contributed to the popularity of this diminutive ruminant throughout the world.
Goat ranching, if you want to call it that, raising a herd, a profitable herd, is so much more easier than working with cattle. Cattle, notoriously, you have to have a lot of heavy equipment as far as heavy chutes. You have to be able to work animals that are 500 to 1,000 pounds or more, depending on if you're dealing with cattle that you have to palpate. You have to deal with dehorning, you have to deal with the worming, and everything is on a larger scale. Goats, you could, run 20 into a pen, have a little swing gate, push them into a corner, grab them one by one, put them in a stanchion, do all your vaccination, worming, dehorning, almost anything and everything that you would need to do hands-on in a small scale.
Meat goat production within the U.S. is being driven by increasing change in the American diet and the ethnic diversity among consumers. Other goat byproducts, milk, cheese, soap, and lotion are also growing in popularity.